y'all, I'm going to start. I'm going to welcome everybody on this snowy, well, it's not, well, yeah, still snowy. Good morning. Let's, for just a moment, see who's here. Let's, let me get this to, yeah, there's the gallery. Okay. Ah, I hope some more people join, but you know how Unitics are, so this will be a lot of fun this morning. So I'm going to go back to speaker view and we'll share. All right. Since we saw each other on view, I might ask, let's see, let's do this. Okay. Remember that on Zoom, like when we say things like the opening statement, there's a delay. You may want to mute yourself this morning unless you really need to speak up. So, well, we've had a beautiful snowy week. I've really enjoyed it. The woods are beautiful, but somebody took this picture for Brittany. This is the parking lot, and Russ went by twice and decided, hey, that's going to be a mess. So I'm glad we're all here this morning with Zoom. And there's the kids I know had a wonderful time. Can you go back and remember how fun the snow used to be? I gotta admit, I didn't get out except to maybe do the walk, and Chris took care of the cars, but oh my God, the kids had so much fun. However, this week has been so unusual. It's been a time of fire and ice, and our hearts break over all that's happened in California, and we pray for all those people that are coping with that situation and losing so much grief. But then that's what happens in our world. We mourn and we celebrate. We hold joy and pain all at the same time. And also this last week, we saw 5 presidents in a funeral. And if you happen to watch the Carter funeral, my goodness, that was such a lesson in a man who really walked the talk. He lived a Christian faith and service. And that was a really wonderful day. But we've also had another sad passing in our community. Russ called me last week to tell me that our Ken Vasu has died. He's made his transition. And it kind of takes your breath away, because just last Sunday, Ken was with us eating his Sunday breakfast, and then he joined us for lunch when we went out. And so we want to be thinking about Ken this day too. So much to think about. So much. The pain and the joy, life, all of it. And what we know is that there's only one power, no matter what the situation seems to appear. And so let us say together our opening statement. There is only one presence and one power active in life and in the universe. God, the good, the omnipotent. Take a breath. Take that in. We've been celebrating the beginning of this year, and last Sunday we had our beautiful white stone ceremony, and we thought about 2025 and all the words that rhyme with it, and so far this is what you all have come up with. We thought, of course, we thrive, togetherness, outreach, connection, support, salty. We talked about being the salt of the earth, abundance, and understanding. Whoops, let me go back one. That went too fast. So those are the words so far that we've thought about for this year, and I haven't really settled on any one thing. I've sort of thought about we thrive in togetherness and outreach, but really it needs to come from the community. So please give me some feedback on some of this, so that we have at least our little mantra, our word for the year in our unity community. And speaking of being salty, we talked about being flavorful. And once again, I'm just going to say Ken Vesu is definitely one of the flavors of our community. So again, I don't know, that's just really been touching my heart to think about him. So, and in all of us, all the flavors of our community, we all bear the Christ candle within. And I'm going to light a Christ candle this morning. Whoops. And if you want to light one, if you have one handy and you want to light one by you, feel free. So, you can't really see it, but here's the flame. Got the Christ candle beside me. This powerful Christ energy can and does guide us always, even when we enter deep waters or unfathomable paths. In its light, we feel safe. We feel held. We feel enfolded. We can affirm and feel the powerful invocation that Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore left us. I am now in the presence of pure being and immersed in the Holy Spirit of life, love, and wisdom. Our daily word today is gratitude. Practicing gratitude leads me to the best life has to offer. Finding the good in situations, even the undesirable ones, and feeling grateful is such a spiritual superpower. So when I practice gratitude, I'm living my faith that blessings of all kinds are constantly unfolding, and the goodness of God is in all things, even when we don't see it. Gratitude keeps me positive, helping me to expect the best and not the worst. It opens my heart to the existing blessings and primes me to receive even more. So when I live in gratitude, I am simply magnetic. I go forth with the expectation that I will have what I need when I need it. I will meet the people I need to meet. I'll be in the right place at the right time. In prayer, I give grateful thanks and rest assured my highest and best outcomes are on their way to me. So, Russ, would you please lead us in a prayer this morning?
Yes, thank you. Good morning. Join me in prayer, please. To begin with, just breathe deeply and focus within. Focus within and knowing that all concerns, all worries, all that which has burdened us, that we, in each breath, loosen our grip on those, allow ourselves to relax into and know the truth of the presence that dwells here, now, in us, through us, as us, that we cannot be separate from this experience of the living God, because each breath within us reminds us of that connection. As life moves through us, so does the divine move in and through us. We cannot be separate, cannot be lost. We can only be returning to deepen that awareness of that truth, that ever ever-growing presence of the divine within us, knowing and recognizing that that divine is love and wisdom, it's knowledge, compassion, it's an ever-present good, and it's our ever-present good, made in the presence and likeness of God, being children of God, being that expression of God, that everlasting good is who we are. And we recall today that all that we see in this world, that good is unfolding. Even where we recognize and claim that it is not, it is still good and unfolding. And with that breath again, I claim that for myself. I know that for myself. And I am that. And we give thanks today that we have a community to come and share with, whether online, whether in person, but always knowing that we have a community, a place to belong, a place that is our home. And whether we're here physically or in spirit, we reach out and hold each other, support each other, and celebrate and recognize the Christ within us all. With that, we're grateful for this experience, grateful for this time together, and grateful for what is about to unfold. And say, and so it is. Amen.
So it is. Amen. Thank you. This morning, we have Becky Whitehead, and she was going to be Zoom no matter what. So, so Becky, I'm going to turn it over to you. Let's see. I've got to take my pen off, and where are you?
Oh, we're good.
Oh, we're good. All right.
Yeah, we're good. So good morning, everybody. It's good to see you. And it's good to see you even in this way, because honestly, I think I can probably see you better like this than if I were zooming into the service.
That's true.
So, that's right. So this will be fun. So when I work with ministries, I present them with an annual theme and then monthly focus. And the annual theme that I'm working with this year is We Thrive in 2025. So I love seeing thrive as one of your words that you had up there. And this month, what we're looking at is the power of our thoughts. So each month will be something that helps us, that supports us in thriving this year. And so this month in January, we're looking at the power of our thoughts. And the affirmation that I'm using, okay, Jeanette, I need to close the chat because I'm going to wind up going over there looking at the chat. So, all right. So the affirmation for this month is my thoughts create my life and I choose the good ones. And in order to get into that, one of the thoughts, and there's a song out there that I'm going to share with you, but there's a song that's been around for quite a while. And to me, it's an affirmation in its own right. And I'm sure you'll hear it. I'm playing it for you by the Pentatonics and not by Paul McCartney. So see what you think. I'm going to go ahead and do a share, and then I'll come back to you here in just a moment. So I love that version because they do bring out all of the things that we can be seeing as different, but move beyond that into just the fact that we are all just one, which is something we teach very strongly in Unity. And my attitude in this whole thing about the power of our thoughts and our mind and all of that is the fact that if we can image it, as Charles Fillmore would say, if we can image it, we can have it, be it, or create it. And so if we can imagine peace and imagine all of these things across the world, it can happen. As soon as we have enough of us on the same page, because that's, as Jesus said, for two or more gathered together, there shall I be. And there shall be that Christ consciousness, that divine being within us. So, the power of a thought, well, that can be understood through the lens of consciousness, creation, and interconnectedness with all things. And, unity teachings emphasize that everything in the universe is a reflection of the divine, and that our thoughts are powerful tools in shaping our expressions, our lives, and even the world around us. And so it all starts with that. When we tap into divine consciousness. In unity it's taught that God is infinite mind, or that capital M mind, and that divine mind is not separate from us, but it is within us, or is as us. And the concept of divine mind is not an abstract idea for us. It's something that we talk about all the time. It's something that we live into. And we participate in it in our daily activities and through our thoughts and our intentions. So thought is creative. And that's so if we realize that our thoughts are creative, then we want to get our thoughts in alignment with thriving for the year. So that's why we want to start with our thoughts. So that's our jumping off place in January, is really embracing the idea of our thoughts being that starting point for what we're creating. So thought is creative, and our minds are seen as the medium through which we manifest the potential of the divine. That's what we're here for. We are here to bring the divine into action. We are the beings. We are the ing of all that is. Because, we talk about God being principle, or that piece, but we are the action parts. And so any time that we are doing something, we are bringing that ing into effect. So when we have a thought, we're not simply experiencing on a mental or an emotional process. We're engaging in the creative power of the universe itself. We are engaging in the creative power that is all around us. We live in a field of infinite potential. And when we form a thought, we are beginning to take that potential and bring it into manifestation. Unity often emphasizes that what we think and believe shapes our reality. Well, this is true. As thoughts are not just fleeting, inconsequential things that go on, but they're energetic patterns. Your thoughts create an energy, a vibration. And that is an energy, we want to liken it to the energy of the universe, of Source, of God. So we talk about mind and spirit being one. Unity theology teaches that the mind and the spirit are inseparable. The human mind is an instrument through which spirit expresses itself. Therefore, thoughts are not merely personal ideas or concepts, but they're channels through which the divine flows. We're each and every one an instrument. And that divine idea, that divine energy, is what is flowing through us to create the music of our lives, the music of the universe. And so we want to make sure that we're paying attention to what it is that we're holding in thoughts. That's why the affirmation is, our thoughts create, and I choose the good ones. We have a choice. That's one of the things that I discovered when I found unity and left the realm of traditional Christianity. I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church, and we weren't taught the same things we're taught in unity, were we? Those of us that have had that experience. It's a whole different thing. We are taught that we have some power, we have some accountabilities, that we are the instruments by which the world expresses. And so it's so important that we hold our thoughts aligned with truth, with love, with peace, with abundance, and that we're connecting with the highest potential of our own divine nature. Now, it's real easy to say, oh, well, Russ has a divine nature, or Jeannie has a divine nature, but I'm just kind of hanging out. I'm just getting started. We are all at the same point. We all have that same innate divinity. It's just whether or not we are taking the reins on how we work with it. Unity's view of spiritual growth involves becoming more aware of the power of our thoughts. One of the big things, and as we work together, you'll hear me talk about, it's so important that we maintain a level of self-awareness and self-observation. Because if we just go along blindly, we're going to be creating some real interesting things in our lives. But when we keep an awareness of who we are and how we're showing up and how our thoughts are moving forward, we're setting ourselves up to become masters at our creative properties. And so the more we train our minds to focus on the good, what happens is the good and the true and the beautiful, that's what we call the Christ consciousness or divine consciousness. And the more we align with the flow of divine creation, this alignment allows us to tap into greater possibilities in our own lives. Isn't that what we all want? We have this desire to live our best life and to have all of the things that our hearts desire. Well, this is where we start. We start with the law of mind action. It's one of our principles. So, it's that key principle that we have, which states that our thoughts and mind produce after their kind. And this means that our thoughts set in motion the forces that create our experiences. So, for example, if we think constantly of lack, limitation, and fear, those patterns will show up in our lives. And then conversely, when we think of abundance, health, joy, those qualities will be reflected in our reality. We'll begin to see more of that around us. This principle suggests that our thoughts are not just passive mental processes. They're actively shaping the world. And Unity teaches that we are co-creators with God in this process. What does that mean? It means that our mental focus and intentions play a role in the unfolding of our lives. And so, as we look, we want to begin to have transformations in our thoughts, so therefore we have transformation through thought. So one of the central tenets in Unity is the idea that transformation is possible through the renewal of the mind. Charles Fillmore was real big on this whole thing of the renewal of the mind. And one of his books, that's one of my favorites, and it's probably one of the most challenging from time to time, is The Atom-Smashing Power of the Mind. But I love it because he was so far ahead of his time when he got into the science of what we know and what is being adopted more by even the science community in our world today. So that idea of us having a transformation through the renewal of our mind, it's inspired by passages from the Bible, such as Romans 12:2. It says, "Be transformed by the renewing of your mind." In Unity, this means by consciously choosing to think differently, to think in alignment with their spiritual truths. So we can transform our lives, we can release old limiting beliefs, and open up to new possibilities. Now, right here, this is one of the reasons why we do burning bowls, usually at the end or beginning of a year. It's to remind us to release old limiting beliefs so that we can create new and step into a new paradigm of who we are. So this shift of thinking isn't about mere positive thinking or affirmations, but it's about aligning our thoughts with higher spiritual truths. And those truths transcend the material world. The power of a thought becomes transformative when it is rooted in love, rooted in truth, and rooted in that oneness with Source or God, by whatever name you call it. And then we also realize that we're all part of a greater interconnected consciousness. Therefore, the power of thought extends beyond our individual creation and can influence the collective consciousness. It's that point when we have enough of us thinking in the same way, we can then begin to tilt into a new direction. That collective consciousness. There's been a whole thing about like the 11th monkey and a bunch of different other things talking about how we come together in mass. And Charles Fillmore referred to race consciousness, and he was talking about human race. And so as we come into alignment with our thought process, as humans being divine, then we have a better opportunity to shift the perspective of the whole world. And so that's why it's so important for us to be mindful and aware of where our thoughts go. One of the things I love to do is I'll have a thought come through and I'll go, where did that even come from? And I'll start doing the reverse. I'll track the thoughts back to the point of origin. And go, okay, well, that was an interesting little journey, so maybe I need to reroute some of that because some of that stuff wasn't necessarily helpful for the life that I have a desire to create. And so it's important that we hold thoughts, of peace, of love, of unity, and continue to the healing and uplifting of the collective human experience. We see it all the time. There's so much in the world around us to be released and so much to be healed. And the whole idea around this healing of consciousness of the world, if most of the people are holding on to limiting and negative beliefs, that's what we're going to have. And so it's up to us to do our part of holding positive thoughts. Because we're not only creating a better life for ourselves, but we're also participating in that spiritual evolution of humanity as a whole. Unity emphasizes the power of prayer and meditation to shift individuals and collective consciousness. Well, that's further affirming that our thoughts are not isolated, but part of a vast spiritual network. And so Unity strongly, and I strongly advocate the use of affirmative prayer and affirmations as tools that direct the power of thoughts. So, excuse me. And as y'all know, an affirmation is a statement that declares, it's a truth that declares the highest potential and the alignment with divine law. Affirmative prayer, we do affirmations. I shared the affirmation for the month. Russ offered us a very affirmative prayer of claiming and seeing things in a different way in order to bring about those positive changes in our life. So the words we speak and the thoughts we think are seen as closely connected. Words are not just expressions of thoughts, but they're powerful vibrational forces, and they carry energy. And so it's taught that when we speak affirmatively, we are creating a reality based on divine truth, rather than on a limited reality created by fear or doubt. Anytime that we find ourselves jumping on maybe a fear train or a doubt train or something like that, let's pull that cord and stop that puppy so that we can then shift it around and go, okay, am I going down this track into something that I don't have a desire to have in my life or in the life of the world around me? Because we do. We are planting seeds constantly with our thoughts for the world that is being realized around us. And so before we go into meditation, I want to conclude with just about this piece, from the unity perspective, from the teachings that we hold. Thought is a dynamic and creative force. It shapes our lives and it shapes the world around us. Our thoughts is seen as part of the universal divine mind, and by choosing thoughts that align with love, truth, and abundance, we align the creative energy of God. The power of a thought, therefore, is not just its ability to manifest personal desires, but it's the potential to connect us with the divine and co-create a more loving and harmonious world. And so, yes, we definitely want to focus on what our thoughts are and make sure to choose the good ones. Many years ago, and he's still doing it, but Mike Dooley was a gentleman, and he created a web page and a group that was all about our thoughts. And he has one it's called tut.com is a website. And it used to have it where you could sign up, and I don't know if you still can or not. Excuse me. But you could sign up and they would send you a daily affirmation talking about the power of our thoughts. And I've actually got a coffee mug. It says, "Thoughts create, therefore choose the good ones." And so I encourage us to do that as we go through. And as we move into a time of meditation, I have a song by Stogood that I want to play. And it's mine when I get off track or get off centered. And to me, my thoughts, if I'm off centered, my thoughts are too. And so it's important for me to stay centered in the divine that I am in order to manage my thoughts. And so this is a song that if I find myself maybe a little wonky or having one of those days where it seems like everything's going okay, or not going okay, but where everything's going a little bit funky, I have been known to put this on a loop and just sit and just shut my eyes and play it over and over and over again to help bring me back to center. And so what we'll do is I'll play this for us and then we'll go right straight into a time of meditation. So if you want to, go ahead and get yourself comfortable while we listen to this song by Stogood. And then I will take us further into meditation after the end of this song.
Bring me back to center. Bring me back to flow. Now my soul surrenders. Peace is all I know. Bring me back to center. Bring me back to flow. Now my soul surrenders. Peace is all I know. Peace is all I know. Peace is all I know. In this moment I am whole. Peace is all I know. Bring me back to knowing. Peace is letting go. Love is overflowing. Peace is all I know. Peace is all I know. Peace is all I know. In this moment I am whole. Peace is all I know. Peace is all I know. Peace is all I know. In this moment I am whole. Peace is all I know. In this moment I am whole. Peace is all I know.
So let's just take a deep breath and find a comfortable position if you haven't already, and allow yourself to settle into the stillness. letting your body relax and letting your mind begin to quiet. And if you would, gently close your eyes and bring your attention inward. And feel the rhythm of your breath, moving in and out, with each breath connecting you to that divine life force, that universal power of creation flowing through you. And as you breathe, you can affirm for yourself that I am a creation of divine mind, and my thoughts are powerful tools of creation. And I invite you to begin to notice your thoughts, and without judgment, observe them as they arise and as they pass. Some may feel a light and uplifting. Others may feel heavy or limiting. And acknowledge that each thought, as it passes, it's a seed. Each one carrying the potential to grow and shape your experience. And as they are shaping, know that you have the ability to embrace these thoughts or to just let them go. And if we bring to mind the truth of Unity's teachings, the truth about thoughts being held in mind produce after their kind, and if we reflect on that spiritual law, we recognize that we're not powerless, but that we are a co-creator with Source, with God, with the universe, shaping our lives with the thoughts that we choose, the thoughts that we choose to entertain. And with this, we release any thoughts that do not serve our highest good. We release any thoughts that are sowing seeds of doubt, of lack, of limitation, of fear. And then we embrace the thoughts of love, abundance, peace, and joy. Imagine your mind as a garden and see yourself gently removing the weeds that are thoughts of doubt, thoughts of fear or limitation. And then when we do that, we replace them with vibrant, healthy plants, those plants that are thoughts of faith and harmony and divine potential. Feel the joy of cultivating a beautiful inner landscape. Feel the joy of surrounding yourselves with those feelings, those thoughts, those ideas of harmony, of compassion, of love. And as we tend to this mental garden, this garden that is a product of the seeds of our thoughts, we visualize light filling our very being. We visualize a radiant golden light of divine wisdom and love. And this light reminds us that we are never alone in our creative work, that the mind of God is always available to guide us and inspire us. And so I invite us to rest in this light for a few moments, to rest in a few moments of silence, of looking and selecting the seeds that we wish to plant. And as we do so, we align our thoughts with divine wisdom. And we think with clarity and purpose in the silence. And when you are ready, bring your awareness back to the present moment. Wiggle your fingers and your toes, and feeling the connection with your physical body. Make the conscious decision of what seeds that you're going to carry back with you into this conscious functional state of your being. And as you're ready, take a deep breath and open your eyes. And then carry this awareness with you through your day. And remember, every thought is a choice. And every choice is an opportunity to create a life aligned with divine truth. And so it is. Amen. And so we have another piece of music. This one is one that was performed at a ministry at Mile High, which is in Denver area. And it's Eddie Watkins Jr., so just enjoy. And so thank you. I hope you enjoyed that. I love Eddie Watkins Jr. And it just reminds us, if we believe, if we hold it in consciousness, we can make a miracle. And so, Jeannie, I'm going to hand it back over to you. And let's just go through and have a great day. And remember, pay attention to your thoughts, because your thoughts are creating what you experience.
All right. That was wonderful. And Angel, you'll be happy to note it's recorded because that was one heck of a message and the music was just right on. It was just perfect. So let's wind things up. Here we go. So of course we can't pass the basket today, but we do have, this is a QR code. Also in the newsletter is there's the link to get to donate online if you wish. We appreciate all your gifts and all your support. Let us say our offertory blessing together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. I send it forth with my blessings and my love. Oh, I should have taken that off. We did put up Christmas. That's done. I'm speaking next Sunday, and then the last Sunday of January is Reverend Russ, and it's our annual meeting after service. Very important annual meeting. And then coming back in February, I'll open February, and we'll have Reverend Becky again for another wonderful service. So, and we've planned through March. So we had our board meeting yesterday and got a lot of good stuff done, and we are moving forward. Our regular things, the self-care club. Okay, Brittany is leaving for Mexico and then India tomorrow, and so stay tuned. We're reorganizing the Mondays, and Chris will meet on Tuesdays, and we're hoping maybe no snow, so that should be a go. And then another important one is we're going to have a visionary workshop. And Becky, I can't remember, we seem to want to get another title besides Mission Vision. This is a really important workshop, and it's March 7th and 8th. And then on the 9th, Becky will be joining us in person for a Sunday service. So I'm going to stop share for the moment and Becky, do you want to add anything?
Sure, absolutely. So the first thing is, I'm coming to Little Rock.
Yeah.
I'll be there in March, be there in person, so I'll get to share energetic space with all of you. So the reason that we're talking to you about this now, and yes, it's legitimately called Mission, Vision, Core Values, but what this is for us to discover what the desires of the heart are of the community of Unity of Little Rock. And it's an all skate. I mean, when I was growing up, going to the skating rink was a big deal, and I went with my church group all the time, and I always loved it when they would shout out, "It's an all skate." And so it reminds me that when we are in a spiritual community, there are so many aspects of that community that are an all skate. It's all hands on deck. So it's important that each one of you please set aside the time to be with us on that Friday evening and Saturday to do this. We want your voice in the room. We want to know what's on your heart, because this is the community of each one of you. This isn't, Russ's community. It's not Jeannie's community, but it is the community of all those who attend Unity of Little Rock. And it's important that as we move forward in the direction of your dreams, in the direction of what you're holding in your heart. And so that's why it's coming in. We'll look at everything. We'll figure out who we are now and who we want to be, what that desire is, and put together those pieces that will support the board and support the congregation in moving forward. It's a way of us really identifying who we are and who we have a desire to be in your community and in this world. And so I'll leave it at that. Know that if you guys have questions, please get those questions to the board. They'll get them on to me, or get my contact information from the board, and you're welcome to reach out to me directly. Okay? There you go, Jeannie.
All right. Thank you, Becky. All right. Right. Well, I am really, really, really looking forward to that. So, ah, Russ, I may ask, is there anything that you wanted to add before we say our prayer of protection together?
Nothing's coming to mind other than I'm going to put the address for Star of India
Thank you.
for Brittany. We're gonna throw down and have a party at Star of India as soon as we finish. So just get up out of your seats at home and head on over there. And if this is your first time joining us or you haven't joined us in person, here's a great opportunity to come break bread literally with us at Star of India, and just enjoy the time together while we bless Brittany and send her on, in my mind, what sounds like a walkabout. So come and join us out in the chat. So thank you.
Thank you so much. I don't know how I was letting that slip my mind. But yes, and we have a little something for Brittany that we're going to give her. We're going to give her blessings in person. And she's already talked to Sammy. So I think there'll be plenty of room for us. We know that parking lot is in good shape and the roads are dry. So thank you, Russ. And we look forward to being with Brittany. And that's it. 12:45 is kind of what we said, but anywhere around 12:30, 12:45, and we'll get started. It's a wonderful buffet. So in closing, let us say our prayer of protection together. We say, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And I am divine. Thank you all for this wonderful morning, and we will see you. So let me get on gallery here, and y'all can come off mute, and you can ask anything, say anything, or we can just all say goodbye together. It's so good to see everybody. Reverend Dolores, oh, good to see you here. It was a good crowd. There were 17 in all. Some people have dropped back off, but it's wonderful to see all your faces. So,
I'd just like to thank Becky for a beautiful talk and music.
Isn't it great?
That Imagine was mind-boggling. I'm going to definitely go back and check that out and send it to some people.
Right. I think
Thank you so
I will get that loaded up. I'm going to give it to Angel, and she can do her magic on it, and then we'll get that posted. It was a really wonderful talk. All right. All right, you all. Have a wonderful day. See you at Star of India.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Record.